to religious concepts. Some further details concerning the views. I have already observed that the main motives for holding the sacrificial ceremonies were great drought and the fear of a bad harvest to follow, epidemics, particularly smallpox and cholera, and the annual agricultural offering, the Mangase. The decision to hold such a ceremony was either taken by the chiefs or by the Datu. After a pronouncement by the oracle, it was also sometimes taken on the instruction Tona of Sisingamangaraja. In addition to venerating the gods, and the somebound offerings were made to the water spirits of the Homban and to the soul of rice. The barbarians do not usually indulge in divination of practice medicine, but by virtue of the nature of many of their ritual acts during the ceremonial, the sacrificial feast, they are regarded as people who have great magical religious power. The barbarians will not allow their hair to be cut. They do not as a rule smoke, and are sometimes subjected to other restrictions. During the time they are exercising their functions, they wear a branch of the waringin tree on their heads, and for this reason they can also be called Parsanggul Baringin or Namajujung Baringin. They occupy a somewhat indefinable position in their small world. In the neighborhood of Panguruan, they're officiating at the agricultural ritual. It is they who give the signal to commence work in the rice fields, entitles them to have a say in the control of the land within the talion, the well-defined agricultural area of their own Maga. In the Sumba areas, many of them were appointed by Sisingamangaraja. Christians are often disposed to refer to paganism for the sake of obtaining the office of Pagbaringin, and the honor and respect has sangapan associated with it. The head of the officials enforces discipline in their corps, but for the secular power they must be supported therein by the secular chiefs. As a rule, the head of the corps is from the Sihaan branch of the ruling group, and the succession always goes from father to son. Thus, a child can be head of the corps. The office of barbarian as well as the lesser officials can, however, also alternate between two or more lineages, either according to a fixed plan of a selection by the chiefs of the people. In Uluan, the office of barbarian can coincide with the secular chieftaincy, just as elsewhere an influential chief can sometimes be an able datu at the same time. The contributions Kuguan to the cause Harugian of the ceremonies were not as a rule made per family, but per participating Maga, each Maga in its turn asking for a contribution for the lineages. This, as we have already seen, could give rise to a change of Maga in exceptional cases. The size of the contributions were determined in one place by the oldest indwelling Maga, in another by the Pagbaringin. Usually, the contributions that everyone made consisted of rice, but sometimes special obligations were laid upon some participants, as for example in the Bius Rianiate, where one branch of the Maga Manalu attended to the Ogun's gangs, while the other provided the rice flour for the small offering cakes. The animal that had to be slaughtered was usually a buffalo, and for this reason the ceremony was also termed Mangan Horbobius, partaking of the Bius buffalo. Due offense was always made to the genealogical relationships when the animal was divided up, but the cutting up specifications varied. The most usual division was lengthwise, in half, Bariba, for two combinations of participating groups, each of which was given a half. This was followed by dividing the house into quarters, high, or into as many parts as was necessary. If there were 3 participants, as for example in the BUC Tolu High, then a high was sometimes allocated to the musicians. The Bogunagojong of the territory often received a portion, usually the neckpiece rukung, for which reason it could be called Desijal rukung, the recipient of the neckpiece. In this way, it was distinguished from the other indwelling marga in the territory. Where there were no Parbaringin, the Bogunagojong usually attended to the offering poll, the collation of the contributions, and the division of the meat among the rightful claimants. If there was no borough common to the views, then the marga which were the borough of the constituent parts usually received their separate portions from their own hula. In some cases, marga which belonged to those ruling in the views could not take the portions directly from the hand of the persons who divided the animal. They had to take them for another ruling marga acting as an intermediary, as a token that they came into the area later and were received by the marga already there. This could be a consequence in the matter of the right to the principal chieftaincy. The way in which the meat was divided is usually of great importance for a knowledge of the internal relationships within the views. Sometimes one or more of the component parts of the views form small views of their own, which then over a cow or a pig, nor a buffalo. If they were entitled to their own system of officials, then they were said to the manjae, set up on their own. The composition of such a small views and what its relation was to the views on the territory depended entirely on the local relationships. The same applied to the latter with regard to the very large views above it.